What's up guys? So last time I left you off and I had several issues with the car. The throttle body was sticking, the radiator cap was no good, and I think I mentioned something about fixing those things, but right now I'm not going to directly fix those, but instead I'm going to replace some parts that are surrounding those areas because I've had them in packages for a while and I'm gonna have to do them anyways. So, you know, I'm gonna have to take off the throttle body, so at some point I'll inspect it. But in the meantime, I'll show you what we're about to do because they've been sitting in these boxes for a hot minute. But you'll know what I'm talking about once I get those opened and when I start wrenching. All right, let's start with the bag. Handy dandy razor blade. So I always do the opening for you guys. So when I open it, I'm kind of surprised too. So if everything's there, I'm happy. And we'll find out together if it's there or not. All right, so we got that. All right, so first thing we got here, hybrid racing fuel pressure regulator. Just open it up, make sure it's not freaking used. Looks like everything's there. Our fittings. Looks pretty good. It comes with the bracket already there. All right, we'll put this back. Came with this other part, which is necessary. It's a hybrid racing fuel pressure gauge. It matches it with the green. Here's another piece. Everything hybrid racing. I decided to go with hybrid just because I wanted what I'm about to open here to kind of work with everything where there's no guessing. And what we have here is the hybrid racing fuel lines. It's their tuck kit, so I can run a center feed, and it comes with a hybrid racing mini fuel filter. All right, on to the next bag. Okay, this is something totally different. This is actually a block off plate for my throttle body. So either I will be using this or I won't, depending on if I could fix the throttle body. All right, here's another bag. Oh, dropped it. Piece should be the last piece of this little fuel system puzzle. Oh, okay. This is the center feed for the K-Tune rail. You need this because it's O-ringed right here, and the one that comes with the hybrid kit is something totally different. So I got that for the rail because this is the type of rail I'm using. All right, I lied. There's one more bag. I actually had to find this bag. But there are two block offs for each end of the rail. These are orb fittings. That way I could run the center feed. All right, before everything comes apart, I'm going to do an overview of my fuel setup, how it is currently. So right now it's a K-Tune rail, 410cc injectors, they're RDX ones, and I have this side, which is a feed line coming from the factory fuel filter. Then I have the return that's flowing through this SARD style regulator with a Marshall gauge, and that runs down here by the shifter cables and to the factory feed line. So what we're going to be doing is capping this side, running our feed through the center to a regulator that'll be mounted somewhere over here. I haven't figured it out yet. The point to this is just to clear up this side and that side, and also this, the way it sits, it kind of ruined my hood, which is just kind of annoying because I like to keep everything as clean as possible. And through this setup, we're also eliminating factory fuel filter, and we'll have to cut the lines somewhere over there, including the vent line, which is this third one right here, which originally went to a charcoal canister, but right now it's vent to atmosphere. So, now let me catch my breath. That is what we're gonna be doing, is basically cleaning up this whole setup and also using a much higher quality regulator. Not that this has failed me, but the hybrid is much better quality than this, I'm sure. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, should shut off the fuel, is pull the ECU fuse. So it's a 15 amp in the upper left corner. It's blue, and we're gonna pull that. Put it over here. And then try to crank the car over until it starts, and it could either start or it's not gonna start, but either way, we're gonna get the fuel pressure out of these lines, so when I do pop off the rail, I don't get gas everywhere. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna get the intake hose out of the way, then probably take off the throttle body because it is relatively close to the rail and the regulator. That also gives me a chance to maybe inspect this real quick, whether I decide to fix it or replace it. I can do that real fast and then get all this out of the way, and then start relieving pressure, probably over here because it's out of the way. Crack that loose, crack this loose, and kind of follow through with everything else. So I'm gonna start with that, and I'll update you guys once this is probably apart. Well, I kind of thought this would happen. I don't know, just out of instinct, but so I don't know if I could show you with one hand. So I had an issue with it sticking, and it wasn't coming back all the way to the rest spot. Sure enough, I get it off, and it closes completely. So I'm thinking maybe I had an issue with the bracket or the cable. So I won't know until I put it back together, but I got this off, so I'll probably put that IAC plate on it. That way I don't have to deal with this crap anymore. And just clean it up because the coolant keeps on making a freaking mess when it exploded that time, so I'll just clean it up. But it looks like I'll just keep this stock for now, which is, I guess, a good thing because I won't be spending extra money. All right, so next what I'm gonna do is loosen this. Oh, can't do it with one hand, so I'm gonna loosen that, take that off, and start doing the rest of it. All right, so I got both ends of the K-Tune rail capped. It did make a small mess, but it wasn't anything crazy. These are -8 orbs, so they're O-ringed. I bought this together, both of them, somewhere on eBay. K-Tune usually supplies them, but being that I bought this as a kit, it already came pre-assembled with the feed line going to the factory filter and then the return going to the factory return. I am now going to eliminate that. So I'm gonna keep this where it is for now, and I'm gonna work on getting the factory fuel line out. Looks like it's 2 10s and then a nut, which is also a 10. Whatever is connected to the fuel rail here, and then I need to work on getting those cut. So I'm going to work on this and cut them, and I'll show you what I did like I always do. All right, so you see this black covering on here. I need to slice it somewhere here and get that off. That way when I cut it, I have somewhere to slide the hose on. So I'm gonna try to use a razor blade on it and see if that works. I really don't know. It feels like a plastic or a rubber, so I'll figure it out. All right, so we got the emissions line or fuel vapor line, I guess, cut. The feed line's cut, and the return I didn't cut. It should work just the way it is. And the way you cut it is with this little tool. Get it from your local auto parts store, and basically how it works is you put it around the tube, you tighten it up, and you spin it around. You keep spinning, you spin, you spin. Well, it came off. You keep spinning and tightening, spin and tighten, and it cuts in the pipe a little bit by little bit, and then eventually it'll cut it straight off. And you need this tool if you're cutting any kind of like brake line or fuel line. That's what you need. So I think at this point, since those lines are cut, I feel like I should probably get this line ran. So I'm gonna take off the rail with the injectors, put the fitting, and run the line and filter to over here. All right, so first, here's the part number. As you can see, part number for the center feed piece that goes for the K-tune rail, and it's specific to the K-tune rail because it's O-ringed. And I believe the hybrid is like a AN6 or 8, I'm not exactly sure, so let's find out. Okay, so this is the K-tune side, so we're gonna put the O-ring fitting like this. Just squeeze it in there. Maybe I should lubricate it. Anywho, let me put it in, I'll explain to you how it works. All right, so I got the fitting in, pushed it in, and there's like a little bit of a space. I don't know if you guys can see that space there. And these 2 sliders go into that space, and then you tighten it down and it's good to go. That simple. All right, so we got the rail back on, center feed is on. It fit pretty all right. Down under the intake manifold by the transmission, and we have it coming out right here. So now I think the filter is next. I did run into issues for some reason. One of these injectors, number 3 or number 2, whatever it is, O-ring did not want to go in, so I had to get one from the old set of injectors. Hopefully it doesn't leak. If it does, I'll just get an OEM one, no big deal. So yeah, we're up to the filter, then filter to regulator, regulator to lines, and we're done. All right, so I got the gauge in hand. I just want to touch up on something. So this is an MPT fitting, and when you use a fitting like this, you want to use some Teflon tape, which is right here, and you can pick this up at Walmart or Lowe's or not Best Buy, I'm stupid, Lowe's, Home Depot, auto parts store, and this is to prevent anything from leaking. So that is necessary when using that MPT fitting. I also used it when I did this fitting for the oil, not the oil, the water temp gauge. So it's a little tip. All right, so first thing, this return line you see in the middle, the fitting they gave to me, which is supposed to cover it. I don't even know where the heck it is. Oh, here it is. This little fitting is supposed to like make it look nicer. I don't know, the hardware they give, it's like super tight, and it ended up messing around. So I took this off. I just used the clamp that was on the old hose. The feed line fit perfectly, and I have the filter fitting sitting right there on the transmission, and then there's that feed line, the other feed line there, and the return on the bottom. So I think what I'm gonna do now is, oh yeah, and I seen Zosh do this back in the day, but he mounted it with just one threaded here, and it's not gonna really move anywhere. So I'm gonna hook up the battery and turn the vehicle just on so it primes the pump and check for leaks. This I'll probably do tomorrow or another day, mess around with the throttle body, but let's check for leaks because that's kind of important before we do anything else. And we'll do that now. All right, so I got my wife in the car. I'm outside. I'm gonna have her prime the key, turn the key one step. All right, I don't see any drips. No drips or anything. All right, so that's good. The car won't start because I have no throttle body on, but we'll crank it and see what happens. It wants to start. It's not supposed to.
Starting?
Huh?
Started?
No, it wanted to. All right, well, crank it some more. Just double check. All right, cut it out. Well, looks like we're pretty good. No leaks. From here, injectors are not leaking, even though I was afraid of it leaking there, and it doesn't look like it is. Yeah, that's good. So next step is just to put the block off plate for the throttle body. Where is it? Right here for the IAC, because I need to get rid of this crap. And crank it over and check everything. Still working with this radiator, got something planned for that. But it looks like the install went pretty smooth. but we won't know for sure once it's started. So probably tomorrow or the next day I'll do the throttle body. All right, so I'm probably gonna end the video here and leave the throttle body IAC block off plate and install for another video, just to give me some more content and also kind of wrap up this fuel system install. So to elaborate on what we did, we put a hybrid tuck kit and regulator attached to my K-Tune rail with a special K-Tune fitting, and put everything together, eliminated the stock fuel filter, and kind of cleaned up the engine bay. It's pretty much looking to where I would like it. I just don't like where this harness is going back behind the header. I have something possibly planned with my buddy Dre's Racing Channel. He said he'll be able to make me a tucked harness, but I just want to make sure everything's sorted out before I go ahead and do that. But for the time being, I do like how the car's coming out. It's working out. One thing goes wrong, but we're able to fix it and improve. I have another part here that isn't going in quite yet until we make sure we fix all the kinks with the radiator and the throttle body. So as long as we get that fixed, we'll be able to do that install as well. So until next time, guys, hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Instagram. You know, you could always DM me if you have any questions about my setup or what I did today or any other video. It's EG Chris 92. Later.